So, roll cage is completely tacked in. Everything turned out really good. And if you remember at the end of the last episode, I told you I'm going to be removing the sheet metal roof so I can gain access to the entire top of the cage, and we're going to get everything all fully welded in. So first thing I need to do is remove all the little spot welds up inside here so I can remove the factory roof. Once that's out of the way, I'm gonna bust out my TIG welder and I'm gonna get to town on welding every single joint on the entire roll cage so everything's completely done. And I'm pretty sure I didn't mention this in the last episode, but the spare tire delete panel is completely welded in now. And here's a quick look at the rear strut tower plate design, which again is similar to the front. That's all tacked into place, waiting to be final welded. On that note, let's get to work. Alright, so to give you guys an idea what I'm doing here, so now I've gone ahead and just taped up some parts of the body. I don't want to scratch anything. So we're going ahead and started to use my spot weld removal tool to drill out all these spot welds, and now I'm using this pick tool to just come in here in this little gaps and remove all of this seam sealer, which is holding the roof on as well as the spot weld. So hopefully all these spot welds come out no problem, and hopefully this roof comes out in one piece and doesn't fight me. And we'll see what happens. Alright, moment of truth. Got all these spot welds completely removed all the way around the car. Time to see if this roof actually fights me or if it comes off pretty easily. It's my first time ever removing a roof off of a car, so we'll see how this goes. The roof should be coming off right now. There we go. And now my car is a convertible. So that actually wasn't too bad at all. You know, after I got all the seam sealer here removed and the spot welds came out pretty good. You know I mentioned in the last video about the benefits of going to the carbon fiber roof and the simplicity of welding the roll cage. And one thing I just realized, which is even better, is I can come into places down in here and I can actually, you know, add a couple beads of weld right here. Same thing up along the top here. So I can actually weld a few more spots to attach the cage to the car that you just wouldn't even be able to access if you had kept the roof on the car. So that's kind of good. So now you can kind of get a good top view of the cage, everything all exposed. Now I can basically come in here and, you know, finish up all the welds up in these top areas that are just simply impossible to get to with the roof installed. Like I said, the only other method is to drop the cage down, weld all these joints, and then bring the cage back up. And another thing, you know, going back to that carbon fiber roof. So I got the original roof here, and you know, this roof this has got to be, if I had to guess, 30 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. That carbon fiber roof is probably like 2 pounds. I didn't expect the stock roof to be that heavy. So that's actually going to be way more weight savings than I originally thought. But yeah, so let's move on to welding. It's time to bust out the big guns. Now, even though I tacked all the roll cage together with my MIG welder, I'm going to be using my TIG to do all the final welding on the car. So I've got here a Miller Synchrowave TIG welder. Let's pull this out. Alright, so I'll show you on my torch here. I've got a brand new Furic cup on here. This is his FUPA 12 model. So these cups have this screen inside, which actually helps disperse the argon gas a lot better than just a hollow cup. So again, these Furic cups work really well. I'll drop a link down below in the description for Mike Furic's website. He's got a bunch of cups for sale for all different types of TIG welding, whether you're doing aluminum, stainless steel, and all that kind of stuff. So that is the torch. And of course, whenever you're TIG welding, you definitely need to wear gloves to protect your hands and all that. I'm busting out the bad boys. Got a set of Sparkle racing gloves here that I'm going to wear. This is what I wear whenever I'm TIG welding, and might as well weld in style. Let's get to welding. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to do it for me today. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning here, and I have been out here for about 14 hours TIG welding this entire roll cage into the car. Everything turned out really good, really happy with everything. And one thing I actually forgot to record is I actually briefly fitted the factory roof back on the car, and I modified and welded the JDM Spec C roof vent bracket directly to the roll cage. Reason being, with the cage installed now, the original mounting point for that bracket is no longer there. And also, when the new carbon fiber roof is mounted to the car, I'd never be able to squeeze the mounting bracket in between the roof and the cage. And if I wanted to keep the vent, this is what I had to do. So now just fingers crossed that when I go to cut the hole in the carbon fiber roof, I cut the hole in the exact same spot as the factory roof was. Otherwise, this mounting bracket's going to give me trouble. So hopefully that all turns out good. In the next episode, I will go over welding in all of the gussets all around the cage that came with the kit. I also need to fabricate some custom seat mounting brackets that need to be welded in, as well as mounting brackets for the fuel cell and a couple other things. So thanks again guys for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell notification button there to stay up to date with the entire build series. And I will see you guys in the next episode.